Hello, this is me Rekha Sen on Swasth Veksha. Today we are going over the development of nervous system. So we started from the very basic thing is how the embryo is made. So how the embryo made? When ovum is released, already complete its first meiotic division. Second meiotic division happen if ovum is fertilized by sperm. If not fertilized, never complete its second meiotic division and goes to die. Endometrium mainly act by progesterone. Heavy progesterone released by corpus luteum after ovum release. If ovum is not fertilized, corpus luteum will be degenerate and decrease the supply of the progesterone by endometrium and destruction of the endometrium will be happen. If ovum is fertilized by sperm, form a zygote which has a 46 chromosome. You can see the figure number 1.2 which is covered by zona pellucida. Then on second stage the blastula where zygote had a binary division or second meiotic division which has a 2, 4 and 8 cell in 30 to 50 hours. After that morula of 8 to 12 cell division in 72 hours. On day 5 early blastocyst occur. It has outer lining cell called trophoblast and centrally which are the embryoblast and blastocyst cavity in centrally. Trophoblast will develop placenta and fetal membrane. Embryoblast develop embryo on day 6 to 7. Late blastocyst which has a disappear the covering of zona pellucida and trophoblast convert into the fimbria for the ready for the implantation. The implantation and the production of HCG. As you can see, figure number 3, the blastocyst digest the posterior superior endometrium and implant the fertilized ovum. To keep progesterone supply, embryo release HCG. To giving the message to corpus luteum, please don't degenerate. Corpus luteum happy and grow and give progesterone for many months until trophoblastic tissue unable to release own estrogen and the progesterone. So let's talk about the origin of the nervous system. Development of the nervous system began in the third week of pregnancy with a thickening of the ectoderm called the neural plate. In the figure number 4.3 and 4.2, see the neural plate placed centrally and future neural crests are present laterally to the neural plate. Just below the neural plate, blue dot, it is a notochord which release a special factor for induce thickening of the ectoderm which is called neural plate. As the plate fold inward and form a longitudinal groove called neural groove. See the figure 4.4. And the raised edge of the neural plate are called neural fold. As the development continue, the neural fold increase in height and meet to form the tube called the neural tube. You can see the figure 4.5. It has developed the neural tube. As you can see, the whole figure has the endoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm. So you are thinking why they are here. So basically they have an important function for the development of baby, which is ectoderm make the skin, mesoderm make the body walls which are ribs and muscles of the body, then endoderm make the gastrointestinal tract, and the specially neural tube have a more important function, make the brain and spinal cord. If any abnormality will happen during the development of the neural tube, specifically mother have a folic acid deficiency made to neural tube defect, we will discuss on the next lecture. The 3 layer of the cell differentiate from the wall that encloses the neural tube. The first outer or marginal layer, which is that cells develop the white matter of the nervous system, and the second one, the middle or mantle layer, cells develop the gray matter of the nervous system. And the third, inner ependymal layer, which is a very important function, is form the ventricle of the brain and lining of the central canal of the spinal cord. As you can see in this figure, it has a dorsal view and the transverse section. It has a head end and tail end at most superiorly, that is a neural tube. Behind to that's a neural fold and neural groove, and this is from the neural tube, and lastly it's a cut edge of the amnio. In the transverse section you can see the first figure, has neural plate centrally. Just lateral to that it's a future neural crest, and more it is ectoderm. And just below the neural plate it has a notochord. It's a special releasing factor for the thickening of the ectoderm, which is called the neural plate, and the mesoderm and the endoderm. In the second figure, as the neural crest is fold, it create a neural fold and neural groove. As the development continue, it form the neural tube and neural crest cell just above the neural tube, and just below that it's a notochord and the endoderm it has placed. After the development of neural crest and the neural tube, we will learn the derivatives of neural crest cell. The neural crest is mass of tissue between the neural tube and the skin ectoderm. The derivatives are, first one is melanocytes. The melanocytes is present in the pituitary gland for the secretion of melanin, and the second one is the pia arachnoid, which are the leptomeninges, is one of the meningeal layer of the brain and spinal cord. The bones of neurocranium, and the fourth one is odontoblast, which are providing early dental, and the fifth one is a calcitonin, which is providing a parafollicle gland. Then 6 is a conotruncal cushion, is aortopulmonary receptor, and the 7 is sensory and autonomic ganglia of cranial nerves and spinal nerves, and the 8th one is adrenal medulla, and the 9th one is Schwann cell, which is the covering of the axon of the nerve. Now the derivatives of the neural tube. The neural tube has two neuropore. The first one is the anterior neuropore, responsible for the brain development, which is closed at 25th day. Then second is the posterior neuropore, is responsible for the spinal cord development. If anterior neuropore not closed properly, leads to anencephaly, which is not compatible for the extrauterine life. If posterior neuropore not closed properly, may leads to problems in the back like spina bifida and related some complication, which we'll discuss on that later. And neural tube has a two end, which is a cephalic end and caudal, as you can see in the figure number 6.1. The anterior part of the neural tube expand and the constriction appear that create a three region called the primary vesicles at the 3rd to 4th week of embryology. The first one is a prosencephalon, known as the forebrain, and the second is mesencephalon, known as the midbrain, and the third one is the rhombencephalon, known as the hindbrain. And the secondary brain vesicle at the 5th to 7th week of embryology. The prosencephalon give rise to the telencephalon and diencephalon. Mesencephalon remains same, and then rhombencephalon give rise to the metencephalon and the myelencephalon. The wall of this brain region develop into the nervous tissue of the brain, and while the space in the tube remain as a ventricle within the brain, as you can see in the figure 6.4. The telencephalon develop walls into the cerebral hemisphere and the basal ganglia, and the cavity form the lateral ventricles, their paired house. And the diencephalon is wall form the thalamus, hypothalamus and epithalamus, and their cavity form the third ventricle. And the mesencephalon, their wall develop into the midbrain, and their cavity form the aqueduct of midbrain, which is also known as the cerebral aqueduct. Then the metencephalon is its wall become the pons and the cerebellum, and their cavity form upper part of the fourth ventricle, and the myelencephalon wall develop into the medulla oblongata, and their cavity form the lower part of the fourth ventricle. As telencephalon goes to frontal, make a frontal lobe, goes to upward, make a parietal lobe, and goes to backward, make a occipital lobe, and goes to downward and turn, make a temporal lobe. You can see this figure. In this image you can see it's a first figure shows that 3 to 4 week of embryo showing the primary brain vesicles. The primary brain vesicles are the prosencephalon, mesencephalon, and the rhombencephalon. In the second figure, it's a 7-week embryo showing a secondary brain vesicle. Secondary brain vesicles are the 5: telencephalon, diencephalon, mesencephalon, metencephalon, and the myelencephalon. And the C figure, 11-week fetus showing expanding cerebral hemisphere overgrowing the diencephalon. So firstly you can see the telencephalon develop into the cerebral hemisphere and basal ganglia, and the diencephalon develop into the thalamus, epithalamus, and the hypothalamus, and just below that it's a midbrain. Cerebellum and pons are the derivatives of the metencephalon, and myelencephalon derivatives are medulla oblongata, and just inferiorly it is the spinal cord. Then the figure D, brain at birth. The diencephalon and superior portion of the brainstem have been projected to the surface. Cerebral hemisphere is here. Then diencephalon have a 3 structure, cerebellum posteriorly to that. Then brainstem have a midbrain, pons, and medulla oblongata, and just inferiorly it is the spinal cord. This is the cerebral hemisphere. As the telencephalon goes forward, it create the frontal lobe. As goes upward, it create a parietal lobe. As goes backward, create a occipital lobe, and goes down and turn, it create a temporal lobe. Between the frontal lobe and the parietal lobe, it has a central sulcus, and between the parietal lobe and the occipital lobe, it has a parieto-occipital sulcus, and between the occipital lobe and temporal lobe, it's a notch which is called pre-occipital notch, and between the frontal lobe and the temporal lobe, it's a lateral fissure. So how the cerebral hemisphere created? So now, after learning this development of the nervous system, we just review the some important points are: the first one is the development of the nervous system begin with the thickening of region of the ectoderm called the neural plate. Then second one is the during embryology development, primary vesicles form a neural tube and serve as a forerunner of the various part of the brain. The telencephalon from the cerebrum. The diencephalon develop into the thalamus, hypothalamus, and the epithalamus. The mesencephalon develop into the midbrain. The metencephalon develop into the pons and cerebellum, and the myelencephalon form the medulla. Okay, so everyone can understand what I'm saying to you about this. First, about the development of the nervous system. As you can see, this is the sagittal section of the brain. Cerebrum developed from the telencephalon. Diencephalon has a thalamus, hypothalamus, and the epithalamus, and just below the hypothalamus it is the pituitary gland situated here. Okay, in the brainstem it has a midbrain, pons, and medulla oblongata, and just posteriorly it is a cerebellum, and below this whole structure it has a spinal cord. Okay, thank you for watching.